All right, then. So you want to talk about what's going on in Kenya? Huh?
Seems to be a lot happening.
Yeah, so we've got all these Kenyan news articles,
Okay.
mostly from Kenyans.co.k and typhilaire.nation.co.k,
Yeah.
all from October 18th, 2024. And it has been a whirlwind of a day.
Yeah.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua impeached.
Wow.
Kithure Kindiki nominated to take his place.
Really?
I mean, talk about some serious political drama, huh?
Yeah, it sounds like an episode of House of Cards or something.
Seriously. So, to really get into it, we need to rewind back to Thursday night.
Okay.
The Kenyan Senate was voting on whether to remove Gachagua from office, and they actually upheld 5 out of 11 charges against him.
Like what?
Corruption, hate speech, the whole 9 yards.
I mean, that's unheard of in Kenya's history, isn't it?
Totally unprecedented.
And what's really interesting is that all of this went down while Gachagua was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, of course, has sparked a lot of debate about whether the Senate's decision was actually fair, given his health and all.
It definitely adds another layer to this whole thing, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
And then you've got Gachagua's legal team. They're already challenging the impeachment.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, I think.
Wow. So what happens now?
Well, hold on, because it gets even wilder.
What else could happen?
Before the dust even settled from the impeachment, President Ruto nominated Kithure Kindiki to be the new deputy president.
No way! Kindiki, I mean, he's no stranger to Kenyan politics, is he?
Not at all. In fact, he actually ran for deputy president back in 2022.
Oh, that's right.
He lost to Gachagua then.
He did.
But now it's like fate's giving him a second chance.
It's like something straight out of a movie.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And here's the kicker.
Yeah.
Kindiki's nomination is already being debated in Parliament as we speak.
Wow, that's fast.
It's like they're not wasting any time, are they? It really shows you how fast-paced everything is, and the stakes are obviously super high.
Absolutely.
But it's important to remember that there's more to Kenya than just this political drama.
Oh, for sure.
Your stack of articles, it also highlights some really positive stories, Stories that show just how resilient the Kenyan people are.
Like what?
Well, there's this one story about this local chief, Protus Wachuli.
Okay.
He's become this internet sensation.
Really?
Yeah, they call him Chief Mishaviv.
Chief Mishaviv, I love that.
Right. I mean, his storytelling, it's legendary.
What's so special about it?
He's got this way of using humor and wit.
Okay.
And his language, it's so unique, it just draws people in.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he even uses this term, Mishaviv.
Mishaviv.
Yeah, apparently means pumpkin leaves in his local language.
Pumpkin leaves. Who knew?
Right. But it's more than just catchy phrases,
Oh, I'm sure.
Chief Mishiviv's popularity. It really shows you how important digital platforms are.
I think so.
Yeah, they give a voice to people, especially at a local level, who might not have had such a broad reach before.
That's a good point.
It's like he's created his own digital stage.
Yeah.
And the whole country, maybe even the world, is watching.
That's incredible. And you said there were other stories, too, like about progress and innovation.
Oh, yeah. There's this fantastic one about a new digital library that just opened in Tharaka Nithi County.
A digital library. That's amazing.
It is. And it's providing all these vital resources to the community.
What kind of resources?
Educational materials for students, information on agriculture for farmers. They've even got online business tools for entrepreneurs.
Wow, they thought of everything.
They really have. It's all about bridging that digital divide
Yeah.
in a way that really serves the community's needs.
It's truly inspiring, to see these kinds of initiatives taking root.
It really is. So to understand the gravity of the Gachagua impeachment, we really need to unpack the accusations against him.
Yeah, what were the specifics? They must have been pretty serious for the Senate to take such drastic action.
Well, one of the big ones was this whole thing with Gachagua allegedly pressuring the Nairobi governor, Johnson Sakaja.
Oh, yeah, about the market, right.
Exactly, to stop the relocation of traders from Wakalima Market.
And wasn't that a whole thing because it directly contradicted President Ruto's stance on the issue?
It was a mess, really. And if the president's saying one thing and his own deputy doing the exact opposite, talk about a power struggle, right?
Publicly, too.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine how awkward those cabinet meetings must have been.
Oh, I can only imagine. But it didn't stop there. You also had those accusations of hate speech.
Right, from those comments he made. I think it was about certain communities.
Yeah, I mean, some people saw them as being really divisive, potentially even dangerous. It really raised questions about the limits of free speech.
Like, where do you draw the line between strong political rhetoric and something that's actually harmful?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And then, of course, you've got the corruption allegations. Yeah, those are pretty serious, weren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Claims of misusing public funds, shady land deals, you name it.
I mean, that kind of stuff just erodes public trust, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It makes people cynical, like, who can you trust in government? And then to make matters even worse, you had those accusations of Gachagua undermining the judiciary.
Yeah, that was pretty shocking, wasn't it?
I mean, after that ruling didn't go his way, he basically went on a tirade against the judges.
Talk about not respecting the separation of powers.
Right. It's like he was trying to pressure them or something, which is a huge red flag in a democracy.
You need an independent judiciary, otherwise the whole system falls apart.
Exactly. But not everyone was on board with the impeachment.
Really?
Oh yeah, Gachagua's allies, they were crying foul the whole time.
What were they saying?
They said the whole process was rushed, that he didn't have enough time to defend himself, especially because he was stuck in the hospital.
That's a good point. It does make you wonder if it was a fair hearing.
Right. I mean, were they just trying to get rid of him as quickly as possible, or was there real solid evidence there? It's hard to say for sure.
It's like, what's the motive here, Is it about justice or is it about political maneuvering? It's messy.
It really is. But speaking of maneuvering, what about Kindiki? He's been thrown into the deep end with this whole thing.
Yeah, talk about a baptism by fire. What do you think he'll be like as deputy president?
Well, he's definitely a different breed than Gachagua, that's for sure.
Yeah, how so?
Well, for one, he's got this really impressive legal background. He's got a PhD in international law, and he's known for being very calm and collected.
Interesting. So not exactly the firebrand type?
Not at all, which is a stark contrast to Gachagua, who was always very outspoken, sometimes even abrasive.
So you're thinking this could be a big shift in style for Ruto's administration?
Possibly, yeah. From confrontation to collaboration, maybe. I mean, Kindiki's a strategist. He thinks things through, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Will be smoother sailing, or will there be new challenges? Who knows?
One thing's for sure, it just got a whole lot more interesting to watch.
That it did. Now, before we get too caught up in all the political intrigue, let's circle back to those other articles you sent, the ones about life beyond the headlines, like that story about Chief Mishaviv. He sounds fascinating. It's amazing to think that just by being himself, he's captured the attention of so many people.
And not just the attention, right, but the hearts, too.
What is it about him that people connect with so strongly?
Well, it's that authenticity he radiates. He's just so real, so relatable.
It's like he's talking directly to you, isn't it?
Exactly. And he's not afraid to use humor.
Right. And it's that clever use of language, too.
Yeah, he's got a way with words, that's for sure.
And it makes you think about the bigger picture, doesn't it?
How so?
Like Chief Mishaviv's popularity, it's a testament to the power of digital platforms, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, without them, would we even know who he is?
Exactly. They've given him this platform to share his stories, his humor, his perspective on things.
And he's not alone, right? There are so many people out there finding their voice online.
It's like a digital tapestry of human experiences.
I like that, a digital tapestry.
And speaking of progress, we can't forget about that digital library in Tharakanithi County.
Oh, yeah, that was a really heartening story.
It really was bringing essential resources to a community that really needs them.
It's amazing to think about all the possibilities that library opens up.
Like what?
Well, for students, it's access to a world of knowledge right at their fingertips.
No more limitations because of where they live.
Exactly. And for farmers, it's like having a direct line to the latest agricultural research and information.
It could really transform how they work.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about the entrepreneurs.
Right. Giving them the tools and resources to start and grow their own businesses.
It's all about empowerment, isn't it?
It really is. So we've gone from political turmoil to heartwarming stories of resilience and progress.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
It has. And although we've only just scratched the surface of what's happening in Kenya, I think we've gained a deeper understanding of the country.
Yeah, it's more than just the headlines. There are so many layers to uncover.
And while we might not have all the answers, especially about what the future holds for Kenyan politics,
who knows what twists and turns are still to come?
Right. But one thing's for sure, Kenya is a country at a crossroads.
The decisions made today will shape its tomorrow.
And that's something worth paying attention to, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's a story that's still being written.
And that's what makes it all the more fascinating.
You sure?
So, as always, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep seeking a deeper understanding of our complex and ever-changing world.